Hello, welcome back. Thanks as always for joining me here. The foundational centerpiece of A Course in Miracles is forgiveness. And there is a lot that can be said about this. There is a lot that is said about this, not only in this video series, but a lot of places on the internet. There are many wonderful commentaries. There are wonderful books and videos, workshops and dialogues, lots of information out there about what is known as true forgiveness. Forgiveness as A Course in Miracles teaches it. There's a lot of information out there. What is about to follow is some more of that. It's a subject that we return to here in this series of videos with a lot of frequency, actually. Not just some frequency, but a lot of it, because we need it. As adult learners, we need to revisit these ideas. And it really helps us to do it because even though there's a lot of information out there about true forgiveness, we learn it best by doing it. That's how we really learn this course. Understanding all of this stuff with the intellectual thinking mind has some value, sure, yes, but not very much compared to actually doing it. Spirituality is all about experience, regardless of the tradition. I think we can all agree on that. The same applies here. It's about doing it. You learn this course by doing it, not simply by watching a video, although I hope this and all of these videos may help you. But the intent here is to present A Course in Miracles, what it says, what it means, just that, and ideally inspire you to put it into practice. So I cannot stress enough, not a single course teacher can stress enough, how important it is to do the work. Precisely what the ego most fears. Unmaking itself. Not going to help you. It's not going to help you with that. The ego's not going to help you do it. But the Holy Spirit will. Huh. And it is this teacher that we're invited to choose. That's it. It truly is as simple as a present moment choice. We run off and complicate life needlessly by thinking that, okay, well, the practice of this really can't be as simple as following the guidance of the Holy Spirit. What do you mean there's only one choice between exactly two options? No, there are billions and billions of options, right? That's what we think. It's not the case. There's one choice. There are exactly two options. Which teacher do we listen to? Each of these is teaching us who we are. Here's the big difference. One of these teachers has no idea what we are, and the other one knows exactly. Which would you rather listen to? Okay. Every moment we have the opportunity to choose. When we choose the Holy Spirit, we find that the Holy Spirit sees the world completely differently than the ego. In truth, there is no world. Yes, that is the central teaching of A Course in Miracles, meaning we're completely at home in God, where we've always been. And we appear to be this, running around, doing our thing, with all of the limitations of this and all of the mental limitations that we heap upon ourselves. Each and every one of them completely artificial and needless. So, what do we do when we appear to be here? Because this sure seems concrete and real. Well, we make this choice. This is what we're talking about. In the mind, we choose the guidance of the Holy Spirit instead of the ego. We choose truth instead of illusion. Put it that way. We choose God instead of the ego. We choose love instead of fear. There are many ways to put that in words. Whatever works for you, that's the choice. You know the right one to choose if you want peace and you really mean it. Because we all say, oh, yeah, I want peace. I want to be happy. Okay. Here's your opportunity for real happiness, for peace, the peace of God. Ready? Okay. Excellent. You're still watching, which is very good. Let's talk about how the Holy Spirit sees this wobbling, spinning ball of rock and this show of ours. Hmm. Here's a question. In any situation at all, we're invited to ask ourselves, what is justified here? What is justified in each and every situation? We see situations where people appear to be acting badly. They're lashing out, they're blaming, they're misusing their power, their station in life to enrich themselves and harm billions of other people. All of this stuff appears to be going on, and it doesn't have to be in a macrocosm either. It can be in your own relationship. It can even be taking place in your own mind, where you're going to town on yourself and you're aware that that's what you're doing. So, in any situation that troubles us, what is justified? A hateful, bitter, angry reaction, or love? What is justified? What is it that you want? That's what's justified. What is it that you want in any situation? Peace, forgiveness, love, the light of right-mindedness? Or do you want blame, hatred, condemnation, battle? What's justified? Well, what do you want? This is a way of approaching the idea of true forgiveness. The Holy Spirit sees the world as an opportunity for forgiveness, as a means by which we wake up, not a wobbling, spinning, prison-like madhouse that we can escape only when this thing loses its muster and goes bye-bye. Well, this thing isn't you. You do know that. Yes, you are not a body. A Course in Miracles says it repeatedly, many places, many times. You know that's true. This is spirituality that we're talking about. Let's see it differently. The way the Holy Spirit sees the world is as a classroom, frankly, a giant lab for forgiveness, for awakening. The Holy Spirit sees the physical body as a learning device for the mind. Give it to Him for His purposes, i.e., healing the mind. Every single action that anyone does, anyone, anywhere, you too, me too, everyone, without exception, everything someone thinks, everything someone says or does is one of two things. It is either an expression of love or it's a call for love. And the Holy Spirit invites you to see it this way. What is justified? What do you want? Then give that and keep it in your mind. The ego tries to teach us that when we give something, we no longer have it. The exact opposite is really true. You give something to keep it in your mind. You give condemnation, hatred, and blame. That's what you keep in your mind. Forgive instead. That's what you keep in your mind. Extend love to your brother. That's what you keep in your mind. Everything that your brother does, and by your brother, I mean anyone at all, anyone, if it provokes anything but pure joy in you, it is an opportunity for forgiveness, which is done with the Holy Spirit, who sees everything as an expression of love or a call for love. Any egregious behavior is a call for love. Having a nasty thought about somebody's post on social media, well, it's an opportunity to forgive. The post, the person writing the post, is issuing a call for love. Someone enriching themselves at the expense of the entire planet is issuing a call for love. Hmm. What is the appropriate response? What is justified here? Well, what do you want? Condemnation? Or do you want love? What is justified? What do you want? Remember, everything is either an expression of love or a call for love. We have no problem seeing it this way when we look at toddlers and small children that act out simply to get attention, to get the attention of an adult somewhere at some point. A kid will do something really naughty or really wonderful and beautiful and loving to get the attention. We have no problem when a kid acts out saying, yeah, it's a cry for help. Or if someone behaves badly in another situation, sometimes we see it as a call for help, a call for love. This is to be applied universally. This is the way the Holy Spirit sees it. The Holy Spirit does not pay any attention to all of our made up differences in the world. He looks right past all of that, and when we forgive under his guidance, we do too. It's not about the outward form, it's the content that matters, the essence, the heart of the matter. The way the Holy Spirit sees it, something someone says, does, or thinks is either an expression of love or it's a call for love. What is the appropriate response to your brother? Exactly. A call for love. What's justified? What do you want? Love, peace, forgiveness, or hate? Abject hate. Which is it? We have the opportunity to choose. You just had it. You have it again. You have it again and again and again. Ongoing. Anything not wholly joyous is an opportunity to forgive. So, here's something that frequently comes up that you may be thinking about. A great question is, well, okay, this kind of makes some sense in this context, in the context of a video or a workshop or an article that you read online or a book or something like that. Okay, it makes sense in the abstract, but when I go to put it into practice, I struggle with it. Yeah. Well, a question that frequently comes up is, well, I would love to forgive, but I cannot condone what this person is doing. It is not loving. Maybe not. Forgiveness does not mean you accept someone's behavior in the world. It does not mean that you do not take measures to protect yourself from the effects of said behavior. It does not mean you agree. Forgiving someone does not mean you have to write them a long email or text or call them. There's no face-to-face discussion required. It's all done in our mind. The other person doesn't have to know, and maybe they never will. But are they impacted? Yes, there's one mind. Understand, though, that the purpose of true forgiveness is to heal the mind. It is not to effect change on the world that appears out there. It's not to make a better or more loving world. It's not to make a saner world. There is no world. We're all perfectly at home in God. But in order to awaken to this and experience this forever, as in on an ongoing basis, not just glimpses, we must fully clarify our perception. We must fully change our mind. We must heal the mind. It is 100% possible to forgive in this manner. even what appear to be the most egregious offenses, without agreeing at all. It's completely doable. I invite you to start with what comes up for you. Start where you are. Start with what you feel called to forgive today. What comes up for you that disturbs you in any way? What is not wholly joyous? That is an opportunity for forgiveness. And it doesn't matter at all. It makes absolutely no difference, whatever, if it seems real small, like forgiving a passing cloud for blotting out your sunshine for 5 minutes. Forgive that. That's just as powerful as forgiving some of the stuff that's going on right now and the stuff that has gone on historically on wobbling, spinning ball of rock when people have thought that they're separate from others, when people have thought that they're superior to others, when one group has thought it can manipulate and control others, and the other group, thinks that it can regain power and control. All of it a complete illusion. Why? There is no separation of any kind. Your brother, in other words, every living thing, is not related to you. He's not your close kin. He's not similar to you either. He is you. So, when you see all of this behavior, in your mind, ask yourself, what is justified? Hate or love? What do you want? All right. It's frequently said that, wow, this course doesn't mess around. Yeah. Haven't we all messed around and played it small long enough? You deserve nothing less than pointing to the truth so that you may be inspired to walk the path, so to speak, to do the work. It is only in doing the work that we really learn. Then our experience proves to us. You want proof? Great. Prove it to yourself. Pixelated image isn't going to prove a single thing to you. You will prove it to yourself. Yeah, we're all adults here. Yes. Our experience shows us that these ideas are true when we put them into practice. Spirituality is all about practical experience, as you well know. So do it. And then the next moment, do it again. Change the way that you see yourself. Change the way that you see your brother. Change the way you see the whole world and your entire experience. That's what this course is about. If you've started out on this path and you're truly doing it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't see things the same way, and you never will again. And why would you want to go back? It's going back to a place that we didn't like, which is why we're on the spiritual path in the first place. So, of course, we're not going back. Change your mind. You have help, you have support along the way. First and foremost, the Holy Spirit, Jesus, your teacher, guide or guides. Call this whatever you want to call it. They're all just names. The Holy Spirit is part of our mind. So appeal to it for guidance, and it will guide you. Now, you also have help in the form of human teachers, like this pixelated image on your screen. By the way, if you're wondering why I keep saying that, you're not a body. I mean, really, what you're looking at is an assemblage of electronic dots. What is really speaking to you is the Holy Spirit. So, in each of these broadcasts, there is a message, or perhaps more than one message for you. You'll know what that is when you hear it. So, I am available for questions if you have them. This comment thread on YouTube is a very good place to leave questions should you have them. And if you just wish to pop in and say hello, I'd also love to hear from you. Thank you to those of you who have recently subscribed. There have been a number of you. And if you have not yet, please click this icon in the corner of your screen. That's the subscribe button. And you'll be invited to join us. We have these conversations several times a week. There's always something coming up. Huh. There's always something to talk about, and there's always something to forgive. So let's all go forth and do just that. And I will see you here again for the next conversation. Thank you for joining me.